AITA I refused to cook for in-laws. My 28M pregnant wife, 28F, invited her parents over for dinner. We have this rule at place ever since we started living together 8 years back. The one who invites gets to cook for everyone. Whoever invites someone over to our home will have cook and clean up after cooking for the night. This is because the dinners are huge when guests come over and it's a lot of work. This applies to both me as well as her. Edit 5. We made that rule because Indian men usually invite random people thoughtlessly without understanding how much work goes into prepping before guests arrive in India. Women usually end up having to do all the work alone. That's why we decided that if you cannot handle all the work alone, you shouldn't be inviting anyone at all. Women benefit by this rule more than men because it's the men who just invite people as they please. So my wife was feeling lonely since I have been having a lot of work lately and she really wanted to meet up with her family, so she invited them. Today, she started experiencing fatigue and nausea, so I told her to tell her family that she's sick and today would not be a good time for them to come over. She said I could try and cook the dinner for all of us. I refused because she was expecting a lot of dishes and it's hard work and time consuming to prepare that much. I also have a 9-hour shift today at my work. She wants me to prepare a meat dish, chicken, shorshmak, mutton nahari, a pasta dish, a rice dish, biryani, pulao, a soup, stew, dal, rajma curry, etc., fries, pakor, finger foods, namkeen, a sabzi, cooked vegetables with spices, and a dessert, carrot halwa, or rubdi, as well. Not to mention vegan options for her sister. The pasta is for her brother since he is a picky eater and loves junk food. She's mad at me now. AITA? Edit 1. We're from India. So consider that as the basis of the unreasonable requests by her parents. Edit 2. She can definitely invite my parents or her friends who are more flexible and accommodating. But she's missing her parents and only wants them to fill her gap of loneliness. She's not very close to them but is constantly seeking approval from them. Edit 3. I wouldn't actually mind cooking 1 or 2 dishes for her family, but they expect elaborately set up meals out of us and they'll leave if it's not up to their standards, which will make my wife feel worse. I'm not mentally prepared to handle the drama that her parents will bring to dinner on a workday. Edit 4. I've told her before that they're never going to be accepting and she should stop trying to please them, but she insists on trying her hardest. However, I'm sick of tolerating their barbs and insults directed at my family status and wealth. So I'm not completely with the idea of them coming over. Edit 6. If she goes to visit them too often, they make remarks like, a woman's home is that of her husband's after marriage. Ek sahagan ki jaga uske patti ke soth hoti hai. Doesn't your husband have enough money to even make a dinner for us? Quote, Tumhare patti ki naukri chali gi kya? Ek bar bhi humane nahi bulate kane pay. This is why we told you not to marry him. Humni tums pela hai kaha de ki us nikam admi se shadi mat karo. Deko tumhari halit kaisi ho gi hai. NTA That is a lot of food to prepare, cook and clean up after a 9-hour shift. NTA. Rules are nice and fine. And sometimes it's okay to break them for your pregnant wife. But springing a last-minute multi-dish dinner on a busy person is not okay. And why can't they come over to keep her company without needing to eat dinner? Why can't they bring food for her? She's pregnant and you're busy. Why can't everyone order takeout? Edited to note that this was posted before OP's edits. Doesn't change my final ruling. but I understand OP has answered the questions I posed. NTA. But only because of the amount of food required. That's a ton of work. If it were a smaller dinner to prep, I'd say suck it up for your wife. As an alternative, I'd suggest asking her family to switch to potluck due to you having to work plus your wife feeling unwell. I think any reasonable person would understand. NTA. The compromise here should have been you cook one vegan meal for everyone and voila. Or get takeaway. Easy peasy. Expecting you to cook 4 dishes. Fries, finger foods and a dessert after your 9-hour work shift just ain't realistic. As in, there's not much time to make all of that and have dinner at a reasonable hour. This is an all-day prep meal your wife wants you to make. It's almost overkill. And just how many people are invited? That's an insane amount of food. Info. Why can't her family bring their own food? Their diet requirements are a lot. If this visit it to help your wife, they should be willing to do that. I was all prepared to say YTA and tell you that compromise is needed considering your wife's pregnancy. Then I read everything she was expecting you to make. After working a 9-hour shift. In this case NTA. If she had been willing to serve whatever you made and you still refused to cook, the awe would be on you. But I'm gonna give you a pass on this one. NTA. If she is sick, she doesn't need to be attending a dinner party. No matter who cooks. Also, a meat dish, a pasta dish, a rice dish, a soup, stew, fries, finger foods, a salad and a dessert as well. Not to mention vegan options for her sister, is way too much food and too many courses for a family weeknight dinner. Either call them up and cancel them and say, wife is sick and I'm sorry but I don't have time to prepare alone, so let's postpone. Or, get a bunch of takeout or delivery. NTA. Order food or go to a restaurant instead. I would normally say that you've got to suck it up and step up for your preggo wife here. And that normal rules should not apply. But the sheer magnitude of what she's asking is unreasonable. Her family should really be the ones offering to bring food. TBH. Everyone can make a little something that fits their dietary needs. Also, this is before we touch on the fact that if she's genuinely sick in this time of pandemic, nausea and fatigue are potential COVID symptoms, that maybe it isn't a good idea for family to come over. NTA. Info. Can you not order takeaway? Or call the family and ask them to each bring something? Info. Did you offer to handle ordering takeout and picking it up instead? Are you trying to help or just insisting it's her job? NTA. That's a lot of food. Maybe you guys could make it together because she feels lonely. There's a really easy solution. Contact her mother and her sister and explain the situation and remember to tell them how much she loves them and misses them. Ask them if there's any way that this can be turned into a potluck. Don't degrade her in any way, but remember hormones are flying rampant right now and family is so important, especially right after a pandemic. My guess is they would be more than happy to pitch in and you should pitch in too. NTA. She could have ordered pizza for the family. She could also ask her family for help as well, like a potluck. Okay NTA, but there's got to be a solution here so she still gets the company without having to do all that. Have the in-laws bring the special dietary needs food and also order takeout. Compromise. She probably needs this. Info. Why can't you all just get a takeaway? NTA. But why is her family not bringing her food? She's pregnant. I couldn't cook or do dishes because of the smell throughout my pregnancy, and my mom was always bringing me food or cooking at my place. NTA, having said that, sounds like you shouldn't be surprised since you married her, knowing what her family is like. I was going to go with ESH until I read what your wife expects. There's no way cooking that after a 9-hour shift is a reasonable request. There's nothing reasonable about your in-laws' demand for specific preferences. The vegan one is fine, but then they should all be okay with no meat for one night. It's sad that your wife's family is there for the meal and not to support their pregnant, not feeling good daughter. NTA, but I hope your wife feels better soon.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.